Okay, so now we'll actually know what is template and how many types are there. So basically there are types of templates, like the classic and the flex, right? So in this video we are going to talk about classic template and use and how we can actually create a classic template, where I have created a small pipeline and also used a value provider argument. This I will create a small classic template, and I will actually run it in front of you, so that you can actually have a view like how template works and how template can be beneficial in many areas, right? So first of all, what is classic template? So in Apache Beam, a classic template refers to a predefined data processing pipeline that can be parameterized and reused across different inputs or configurations. Actually, it allows you to define a pipeline once and then it apply it to various data sources or with different settings. It actually what does is like, if a user wants to use a pipeline but he don't know how to do coding, right? But he has some input function, and he know that this pipeline will give him the output as the length or as the length of the string which he is giving as input. Then for that user who actually don't know coding, what he can do is he can actually use this classic template, and just using this classic template he will just give the input file which he is having, and the output file will be created in his local area, where he can actually find the output of that pipeline, right? So if you're a new user, then first of all what you need to do is like, you need to actually in your terminal import or install Apache Beam for the GCP, right? After installing Apache Beam, we are importing it as Beam. Then you need to use this library for installing the pipeline options, so that we can actually create the classic template, right? So now here I have actually created a class, naming it as my options, where pipeline options I am using, the thing which I the uh, library which I have imported, I am using it here. Then I have actually defined a function naming it as at argument parse and args. Okay, so what this function is doing is, it is using value provider. Like there are different types of value provider. This is the basic one. So it is actually using in this function there I have used two value providers, where which one will take the input and other will give the output, right? So now after this we are actually initializing or defining a function as run, where we are first we have like stored the value of pipeline options, then we are creating a small pipeline which will actually perform nothing but just read from the input file, which actually this line is taking, and just write it to the output file which this file is actually using, right? Then we are actually using the pipeline runner, right? So now we have used the code, we are saving it, and after saving it, this is the code, right? Now how we can actually use template is just wherever you have just created your Python script, where this code you have written. For example, like my file is test.py. So this is there, here is my file. I just need to go to cmd, and now I need to access the template, classic template, and also with that classic template, I need to like give the input and also the output file, so that it can use that input file of whichever I am giving, and can give the output.txt file, right? So for that, first I will write Python, then test dot the name of the file, Python script you have wherever you have saved, then input, right? Input, where input will be my input dot txt. Okay, so this is the file. For example, I have a txt file which I have locally saved as input, right? Let me show you where I have saved it. Okay, so this is the input file, right? Let's delete this. Okay, so this is the input file which is actually having this txt file actually have hello world, right? So what I want to do is like, I want this template, this classic template to be exist, and where I want my input to be this input txt file, and after that I want the output should be given in output.txt file, right? So it will take the input txt file from this input file. For example, if the name of the file is something like input 2 or input 3, you just need to write it here so that it can actually take that in file in this input, right? Now when I run this template, it will take some some time, and then it will create a output file. You can see this here now. Okay, so just we'll go to the Visual Code, and this output file has been created in front of you, which is containing hello world. So what it did is, like, my pipeline was I have created this pipeline to just read the input or the text and just give the output, right? In the further video or in your application, you can create multiple pipelines which can perform different types of functions, and then you can write that file to the output file. So this was a small usage, or you can say the tutorial of how we can actually create a template file using value provider argument and then save it in some other file, right? This was the input, and output has been created by the pipeline. Thank you.